Hey everyone, I'm Andy DiDeRossi. I'm here with Jason Fried, and we're answering your questions. So, next question is from Mauricio, a designer from Sao Paulo. He said he's a huge fan of your work and writings. He wants to know your thoughts on burnout. What happens when people get to the breaking point? He said he's really hard on himself sometimes regarding the quality of his work. It'll trigger anxiety, which will make him want to work more and get burned out more. Have you experienced these feelings, and how do you deal with them?
Yeah, burnout's a really serious topic, and it can be caused by a lot of different things. It can be caused by overwork, just like flat out too many hours. It can be caused by people being too hard on themselves. It can be caused by just a lack of interest in the work itself. Like even if you work 2 hours a day, but you hate what you do, you're going to burn out. So it's not just a matter of I'm putting in 120-hour weeks, like which will kill anybody. But it is the motivation is really the fundamental point, I think. And yeah, I think we've all experienced some degree of this for sure. Sometimes it goes away, sometimes it comes back. What we try to do here at Basecamp to help people with that, first of all, is be as conscious about it as we possibly can. So if we notice someone's work trailing off in some way, or they seem more distant, you just kind of talk to them and see what's going on. You try to get a feel for it. And you try to help them through it. Maybe they need some time off. Maybe we need to shift their projects. Maybe they want to do a different kind of work for a while. That's come up a few times with people where like they love the job, they love the fundamental work, but the part of the work they're doing, they're just not into at the moment. So they want to shift over. Sometimes it's like, I want to move from desktop to native mobile. I want to move from mobile back to desktop. It might be, something like that. That could be part of it as well. We've also had programmers in the past. We had this one fellow who wanted to, he was a programmer, but he actually wanted to become a designer. And he was burning out on programming. He wasn't burning out on working. He was burning out on programming. So we actually allowed him to be a designer for a while. And ultimately that didn't work out, but it was an opportunity and it's a technique to try. The other thing we do here at Basecamp is we do a 30-day sabbatical, paid sabbatical every 3 years for every employee. In the summers, we're currently doing 4-day weeks. So that doesn't mean 40 hours in 4 days. It means 32 hours in 4 days. So we try to give people, again, if the motivation's not there, it doesn't matter. But if the motivation's there, but you find you're working too long, we try to make sure that we space things out so people have a little bit more off time in the summers, have these sabbaticals where they can really take a true break. And if you just need some extra time to get away, that's fine too. I think the key is, if you find yourself being too hard on yourself, like this fellow, that's a hard thing because that's more of in many ways, it's a personality trait. And I understand that. I've been that way myself. I totally get that. I think kind of the thing to remember, at least for me, was to break through that, this actually happened to me when I used to do proposals. So I would do proposals, and when I was back in the web design days, and I used to do these long 10-page elaborate proposals because that's what I thought you had to do. I thought that that's what a quality proposal was extensive and well written, across a variety of different topics and lots of great custom work showing what we can do in the whole thing. And I eventually just kind of got sick of that. There's a number of reasons why, but I eventually realized that when someone gets a proposal, all they do is they look at the back page. How long is it going to take and how much is it going to cost? And I came to that realization and I started shortening my proposals. And I wouldn't drive myself crazy trying to deliver the perfect proposal. And instead, I would try to deliver the clearest proposal and the proposal that was the most usable in a sense, which is 1 or 2 pages. Here's what it's going to cost. Here's what it's going to take. Here's how long it's going to take. And that was a way for me to get over this feeling of I need to bust my ass on this thing that ultimately didn't matter so much. I didn't lose work when I had shorter proposals. And so coming to that realization was really valuable for me to realize that sometimes you think you have to go all out and go all in on something when really you're sort of judging it on the wrong merits. And if you really figure out what's really important, you might find out you don't have to push yourself as hard. And you can focus on fewer things and just do those really well. So anyway, that's my advice. I'm sorry that you're experiencing this. That's a really hard thing to go through. And hopefully a break will be a good way to attack that. So good luck.